In the country of Mongolia, he is known as the father of democracy. Former President Tsakhiagiin Elbegdorj was a two-time prime minister of Mongolia and also served as the nation's president until 2017. Mongolia is sandwiched between Russia and China. And in an exclusive interview with EWTN News Nightly, the former leader weighed in on the war in Ukraine and the fate of Mongolians in China.
I'd like to talk about China and what we're seeing over there right now. What are your impressions about what's happening in China? And I do know that you met President Xi Xinping.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Of course, we want to have good neighborly relations with our two neighbors, and we maintain that. And when we meet together, there are many issues usually we discuss. You know, there are more Mongols live in China than in Mongolia. Those governments should be respectful to those ethnic minorities. All humans are equal, I think. All humans have rights. Today's Chinese Communist Party policy actually to squeeze that right and to block that right, and that's really wrong. And because of that, I always advocate those ethnic minorities should have to continue and live with their traditions, with their wonderful, rich culture, and use their own scripture, own language. That should be there. If there is something bad happen, we have to talk about it, and we have to reveal it for the wider humanity. I know those regimes, and usually those one-party system, they hide a lot. And if they hide something, and we have to show to the world and what they are hiding, what kind of crime maybe they are committing.
You mentioned Ukraine earlier.
Yeah.
I know that you were one of the first, if not the first, to speak out against the war in Ukraine.
You know, war in Ukraine is only, that war is not only happening between Russia and Ukraine. Actually, that war front line is much longer, much wider. I see that's the war between autocrat governments and free world. If Ukraine wins, I think people who love freedom, they will be very much encouraged. If Russia wins, those autocrats in Africa, in Asia, in Latin America, in other countries, they will be encouraged. Ukrainians are not only fighting for their country, for their right to exist there, they are fighting for the global security, for the global fate of freedom.
It's been about a year since the war in Ukraine started. I know many were hopeful it would last for a couple of months, but here we are a year later, and it seems as if things are escalated. A lot of worry about Russia and what Putin may do. Any concerns there, and how do you see this all playing out?
I can say many things, but I would like to say one thing. War is obsolete in 21st century, and why people don't support it. If you go to United Nations, only 5 countries, including Russia, they support that aggression. And all those nations, almost 200 of them, countries, and out of that, 45 countries, really not supporting that war. War is obsolete.
I know you've often said that dictatorships can't last forever.
And I really believe in the power of freedom. If that collective will, people are more powerful than any aggression, any military power, or any autocrat in the world. I really believe that one day whole humanity will live in freedom and in harmony.